Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going over my top Supreme Arena defenses I'll be running this week on my main account and the pay to win account. As for the Supreme points on my main account, we're up to 1,710 points. We finished in the top 20 every day of the previous week. We're going to go through the teams I'm running here, which are going to be the free to play lineup. There will be a formation ID in the corner. So team number 1, we're going to be going for the Tasi Bonnie stall comp, which is the free-to-play version without Tailene, if you don't have Tailene built, and this does really well. Bonnie and Tasi are going to be protected on the concealed tiles. We have Thorin Soul Pacting Haywin and Damien Charms onto the Haywin as well. That is why I chose this team for the map number 1, because it allowed me to have this Thorin into Haywin into Damien formation to maximize the protection on Haywin, because Haywin's really the only hero who has a risk of dying in this comp, and you want to protect her as much as possible. As for the charms, I have the sorcery charms onto Bonnie, I have the blast charms onto Tailene, I have the insight charms onto Haywin, but you can also go for the healing like related charms. And then I have Thorin doesn't have charms, and Damien, we have him on the wizard charms, which are really great for him as well. Basically anything to give him ultimate power. We have the Storm Strike spell for more damage and nuking potential. This is a great team, and if you have these heroes invested, it's going to do very well for you. And even though it doesn't have Tailene in it, it's really strong. I have even beaten Tailene teams running the Tailene Tasi Bonnie stall comp using this Thorin team that we have here. So it depends on your level of investment. Okay, moving on to team number 2. Team number 2 is going to be our Iron Nuke. Now, the unique effect of this week is we will have Renewing Rain, increasing all units' base health by 150%. I don't know if that means 150% on top of the 100% that you start with, or if it's just actually a 50% increase, because remember, translations are sometimes not completely accurate from the Chinese version. I don't know what it means, but either way, your team is going to be tankier than before. Now with this comp, it is a wilder comp with the harmonic spell, because you're going to have your Arden and Odie in the back with the maximum health to trigger the maximum attack boost and also haste from this artifact, and so it synergizes a lot really well with wilder teams. Now here we're not running a Nero, because the thing is my Nero is only Supreme Plus, whereas my Lily May is Paragon 3, and also I wanted to make use of Lily May in a team, and she fits the best into this team that I have here. And I know it is weak if the opponent runs a Lily May of their own, but I think we have nuking power even without the Iron casting ultimate. We have the Odie, Arden, and Lily May, who are also going to nuke the opponent. And we have the Almas charms onto Arden, because I like the AoE true damage more than just giving the charms to Odie, for example. Now, definitely if you have Siren, you should replace the Odie for Siren. That would be better. Also, if you have Lenya, you can even replace the Arden for Lenya, or even the Odie, basically. So Lenya and Siren are really the optimal heroes to be running in a comp like this, and ideally you can even run Nero and have Nero in front of Iron, because then that will prevent enemies from interrupting them with Lily May. However, you're always going to be susceptible to something, like even if we're running Nero Iron, if the opponent brings Dunlinger, they're still going to shut down this comp. So you have to sometimes just say, okay, my Iron might not get off his ultimate, they might interrupt me, but hopefully I have enough damage to break through, and this team does have that. So this is a great team. We talked about replacements you can run depending on if you have those heroes. Now team number 3, I'm really interested to try this team, and I think it's actually going to do really well. So I've been experimenting week after week with, for example, a free-to-play third team, and I definitely want to make use of Shakir, because personally I have Shakir High Paragon upgraded, and I think a lot of people would have Shakir or maybe even Coco upgrade on their account, and then you might as well make use of them in a team. And so this Mauler team lineup, I think of the Mauler heroes is going to be the best for free-to-play players. You can use on Tundra instead of Brutus. Basically any other hero who can be in the front line on this tile can work here. It doesn't really matter who it is, but we have Brutus. We also have him with the insight charms, because that is going to prolong the duration of his invulnerability, and he can tank for my team better. We have the surging spell, and that is going to go off on a grouped up team of 4 allies over here: Coco, Shakir, Ludovic, and Vala. And you're going to notice Shakir's actually blocked in. However, with the Malefaction talents, after 4 seconds he's going to teleport to his prey, and so we're going to have 4 seconds of him being locked in, but then he's going to teleport and begin dealing damage, and we have a lot of protection for him. We have healing from Ludovic, charms of Coco onto him. We'll have the surging spell shielding. Basically just protect the Shakir as much as possible, then he'll teleport in, begin dealing damage, and cast his ultimate. And that is going to be very powerful. And we have Vala in the back. So Ludovic, his charm effect is going to give an attack buff to anyone who he heals. And his heal at the beginning of the match is going to be centered around him. So he's going to hit all three of your allies here. And Vala is going to get the attack buff, Shakir is going to get the attack buff, and hopefully he will just be able to heal them up even if the opponent tries to go for like a backline nuking strategy onto Vala. I'm hoping Ludovic is going to be able to keep her alive, and also the other two heroes alive. So even if they go for like an Iron nuking comp, Ludovic is really good to deal with that because he is going to have that burst healing from the beginning of the match. And I think a lot of people have Ludovic invested. And Vala, like, I mean, if you don't have Vala, you can use any other damage dealer here. Worst case, you can use something like Sylvina, or you can use Taylene if you have Taylene built. And then you could even, for example, have Taylene onto this tile over here and Brutus in the back to take the enemy rear line, like nuking strategy. So anything like that can basically work. But for me, this is what we're going to be running, and I think it should do pretty well. So these are the free-to-play teams. You guys can copy down the formation ID. Now we're going to jump over to the pay-to-win account and talk about the teams there. Okay, guys, we're on the pay-to-win account. Here's going to be team number 1, and again, there will be a formation ID if you want to copy it down. So team number 1 is going to be the Lightbearer Athalia team comp, which is very strong. You want to have Hugin in front of Athalia. That is really important to give the true damage conversion onto Athalia. And as for Athalia charms, try to give her the overloaded charms, but sorcery can also work onto her. We have the Vala in the back. I just gave her whatever charm set I had. I didn't really try to prioritize anything. And honestly, Vala is probably going to die very soon on in the fight. And Sonya is here to buff up your Hugin and Vala. But basically, you just want to run 3 Lightbearer heroes who have the most ascended for the Paragon rivalry stats. That's it. And you need to have Hugin in front of Athalia. That is essential. And then I'm running Fresto because it's like kind of a tank to buy time for my team. And also, the health is going to be contributed to the Hogan who is summoned. And the tankier the Hogan is, the longer Thalia is going to be jumping around dealing damage, even when she's in her Lance form. And that is the whole idea behind this comp. Life Force should give her some kill stacks and basically stat buffs, and then she is going to try to solo along with the Hogan who's going to tank out the opponent. That is the strategy. Now, what I've noticed from testing in my server is that there is an improvement of this comp. You can replace Vala for Siren. However, I'm running Siren on a different team. And if you run Siren here, it is going to power up the team because it's going to deny the opponent artifact. And for example, if you're running the mirror match and my Life Forge spell is denied on my Athalia, but his Life Forge is free to go off, he's going to have a huge advantage, right? And then, so that's basically what I've seen to do really well. Other than that, this is basically a really good team. Now, if you do not have Athalia, that's fine. I'm going to talk about a Graveborn comp that you can run with Harak. Graveborn Harak nuke is very similar to the Athalia comp. They have a very similar strategy. And for this, you would have the Sylvina over here. Thorn Soul Pack, the Harak. You have Ludovic over here because at the beginning he's going to heal and provide his attack buff from his charms onto the nearby allies. And then for the final hero, you can honestly run anything. Like you can run Lily May, you can run Siren, you can run Dunlinger, you can run basically whatever hero you have left over, you can try to run it. Ideally some sort of thing which will give you more nuking power. Like, I don't know, I haven't tried Lorson, but like I think even something like Lorson could potentially work because he has that chain at the beginning of the match. For the team number 2, it is going to be this is weird because you might be looking at this and think, okay, it's really similar to the comp I was running in the previous week, but the difference is we're now running Haywin rather than Iron. I'm actually not running Iron on any team, right? Yeah, I'm not running Iron on any team. Previously, I was running Iron, but I noticed I tried Haywin, and Haywin ends up doing better. And the reason for that is she is difficult to kill. Alamus is difficult to kill. Basically, it's going to prolong the duration of your conceal effect. And the thing is, just having your Lenya and Siren alone dealing their damage, that is enough to burst the opponents. And if Haywin can get off an ultimate to give your team damage reduction and healing, that can allow Lenya to survive for longer, even after the concealed duration wears off, and finish them off. But the idea behind this comp, definitely you want to have Nero, because what Nero does is he'll take an enemy Lily May interruption, so Siren will be able to freely get off his ultimate. That is really big. And we're going to have Nero Charms onto Lenya so she can begin dealing her true damage. And we have Almas just as like another Wilder hero who's difficult to kill and can tank for your team and to get the Wilder faction talents. That's basically the whole idea. But he can do some knockdowns of his own and I guess even prolong the duration of crowd control from Siren, I would think. But other than that, not really contributing that much. Definitely if you had a position where you could put Almas Charms onto Siren, that would be even better. But we can't because of the layout of these maps. But Haywin is a really good hero, honestly. Like, I was always running her in the Tassi, Bonnie, Taylene comp, but if you can afford to run another hero there, which we are running Lily May now, then you can use Haywin on another team. And, like, from my testing, this team was so solid. Like, it was very difficult for anyone to break through. So I really like this team, and with the Harmonic spell. And then for team number 3, it is going to be the Tassi, Bonnie, Taylene standard comp, but we're running Lily May on the tile rather than Haywin. From my testing, Haywin is technically the best rather than Lily May. Haywin does really well, honestly. However, Lily May does fine as well, very similar, and it allows me to use Haywin on the other team, and I think she does better on that team compared to like running Lily May there, for example. We have Tassi in the front because we want Taylene to take the enemy Bonnie debuffs because she's going to be more rearmost, and it buys a bit more time for the Tassi. And also we have the Charms of Damien onto Tassi, making her even tankier and giving her the energy regeneration so she can begin casting her ultimate earlier. And we have the Damien in really a good position. He can basically heal up your entire team from this position, and we do have him on his. So we got the Eagle Charms because we hit them first, but Wizard Charms or Eagle Charms both are good. They give ultimate power, and Eagle Charms give him health. Blast Charms onto Tassi, and Blast Charms onto Taylene. Sorcery Charms onto the Bonnie, and right now we have Gale onto Lily May, but ideally you would have a different charm set like Titanic or maybe Sorcery, but Gale is fine for right now. And we have the Storm Strike spell, of course, and this is a really solid team. It always does well. Of course, there are counters to it now after people have done more testing. However, generally it is definitely an above average, near top tier team, basically. So hopefully running these teams or the Graveborn Nuke like we showed you, you're going to be able to get a good ranking in Supreme Arena this week. And again, there will be a formation ID for these teams here. If you guys are not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. But thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.